Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome home. Today I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a story, so get your popcorn and your drinks ready, sit back, relax, and I'll spill as to why I regret going to college. Now, I am extremely grateful for all of the amazing fun experiences I was able to have while going to college. But at the end of the day, I really just don't think it was worth the financial predicament I am in now. I attended two different schools as a full time student. Uh, I'm just gonna say I attended a small Catholic private college for my first 1.5 years of college. And then for 1 year, I went to a Big Ten school. So I kind of have both the experience of a smaller campus and a larger campus. Oh, and I also took a semester at community college. So I pretty much have like the whole experience of like all the college options. So I guess I'll start this story from when I was 17 years old. So, 17-year-old me, that poor child. The way college was pushed onto high school students back then, it's definitely a lot different than it is now. I kind of thought college was the only option for me. I went to a college prep high school, so their main focus was really to push students to get accepted into colleges and get a lot of scholarship money. 17-year-old me was incredibly smart, academically gifted, driven, focused, but so very immature, misguided, lost, and alone. I did not have any close, genuine friendships at this point in my life. Now, I did have a friend group that I used to hang out with throughout the first 3 years of my high school career, but I stopped talking to them because they would exclude me a lot from stuff and they would kind of treat me like a pet and kind of tease me a little, and I just really did not feel like a real friend to them as they felt amongst each other. I really didn't hang out with anyone over the weekends. My weekends usually just consisted of sleeping, homework, um, playing on my computer, scrolling Tumblr. I did take music classes here and there throughout high school, but that was pretty much it. That was pretty much all my socialization outside of high school. Well, actually, I also did attend a Unitarian church here and there with my mother, and she would try to get me involved in the youth group there, but it wasn't really a consistent amount of socialization, and I didn't have really any deep friendships at that point in my life. I had a handful of internet friends, and they were awesome. They were great to talk to, but internet friends definitely aren't the same as real life friends. I was also at the time dealing with undiagnosed ADHD and autism, and I just had no freaking idea how I was going to survive in the real world. I was 17 and I mentally felt like I was still 14. I did not feel ready to graduate. I did not feel ready to be an adult. I did not have any peers that I could trust whom I could talk to about college. So I'm sorry guys. I didn't know how much scholarship money like a lot of my peers were getting. I didn't know what like a normal amount of money to pay for college was. Like I didn't really know anyone else's like financial situation. I didn't know that it wasn't normal to take out so much money for student loans. So I fully wholeheartedly regret signing that paper for student loans at the age of 7 freaking teen. Now there is not just one person to blame for all of this. Like, I don't want to blame anyone directly. Okay. I'm going to blame the United States because our system for education is a mess. How come countries in Europe get to have kids go to college for free while we have to pay so much freaking money to go to get an education that is required for us to survive, to make a decent living? Now, mind you, I turned 17 years old in 2015, which was 10 years ago now. Back in 2015, community college was also so much more frowned upon than it is now. Like, I feel like it's just so normal for kids just go to community college and figure themselves out now. Like back then, it was just like, oh, it's for the dumb kids. It's for the kids who didn't have a high enough GPA to like end up going to a 4-year university, which is such BS. But that's all the rhetoric that I heard at 17, 18, 19 years old. So I didn't want to go to community college because I thought that would mean something was wrong with me, that all of these AP classes, these honors classes would be for nothing. I also didn't want to go to community college because I did want the experience of growing up. I did want the experience of being away from home because I do feel like I was sheltered a bit, and especially not having a lot of friends to socialize with definitely contributed to that sheltered feeling. So I just wanted to go out. I just wanted to party. I didn't want to be close to home. I didn't want my parents to know what I was doing all the weekends. So I decided to apply to 4-year schools. Now, I knew that trade schools were a thing and I knew they existed, but I really don't think anyone really had an in depth conversation about what they really were and what different types of occupations you could train for at a trade school, because I honestly thought it was a more manly thing, it was a more masculine thing, it was more for males who wanted to go into construction and HVAC and stuff. Now, I did have an interest in possibly being an electrician, but it was definitely just more of a casual thought at that time, and I definitely don't think um, I would be suited for going into such a male dominated field with the emotional maturity that I have. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I went to both a private 4-year Catholic university and a 4-year public university, which was a huge Big Ten school. The Big Ten school was a school that I originally wanted to go to. I toured the school in 2015. I was just like, I love this school. I want to go here. I want to attend here. I had no idea what I wanted my major to be or anything, but I was just like, I like this school. This is a really cool school. I want to attend it. Now, my parents were a little hesitant about that because I was attending a really small high school, and they thought I would have issues adjusting to such a large school. So they thought maybe it would be better to say a little bit more local. The other school was the Big Ten school. It's 3 hours away from home. The private Catholic one I ended up going to is probably like 20 minutes on a good day. So I think they wanted me to stay closer to home, at least for my first few years. So I ended up going there. I think literally the only other reason I chose that school is because I thought the dorms were nice, and another one of my classmates who I guess I like talked to casually, we were like casual friends, was going to be there, and we decided to end up being roommates. And the most hilarious part is that I never ended up staying in the dorm that I thought was nicest. I won't talk too much about my social college experiences in this video. I think I'll talk a little bit more about the academics and financials because that is the main reason why I regret attending. So, my first year of university at the private Catholic college, I was a freshman. Um, I was undecided for my first semester, and then I switched to political science for my second semester because it was 2016 going into 2017, and we all know what happened then. It was a very big election, and that radicalized me. So I thought, why not study political science? The rose colored glasses of my school started to kind of come off during my sophomore year, my first semester. A lot of my core friend group had left or transferred, or they just started commuting. They were no longer living on campus. We just had different classes and stuff. So I was starting to see them less and less. I was realizing how dry the campus was. There wasn't really a city nearby. I mean, we could take the train down to the city, but that was about it. The closest thing was probably the mall. I was at the mall a lot during my sophomore year because I was just so bored. I almost kind of had a shopping addiction because I just felt so bored. And I just wanted to leave. Like I was not a fan of the school anymore. And I wasn't really a fan of my major anymore either, and I wasn't really sure what kind of job I would have been able to get with the poli sci degree. So I decided to drop out for a semester, and then I took a semester at community college to get some more credits while I applied to other 4 year schools that were better suited for me. Now, mind you, the private Catholic school is closed now. It is no longer accepting students. I think the last graduating class was, I think, like last year. So yeah, I don't think I was alone in how I felt, and I think it was just too expensive for what they were providing. I got a lot of scholarship money there, so it ended up being pretty much the same cost as the Big Ten school I would go to. But yeah. So in fall of 2018, I attended the Big Ten school. My major was English because I always had a passion for writing. I would have done creative writing, but creative writing wasn't an option for the campus I was at. So I just ended up doing English. And I kind of ran into the same issue that I had at the other school, that I had no idea what kind of job I was going to get as an English major. And I guess I just wanted financial stability. I still want financial stability. But I just think all the things that are profitable, that pay well, I am either A, not interested in, B, just require loads and loads of schooling. I had spoken to my advisor at the end of my spring 2019 semester, and she was talking to me about how I would probably have to do another year of school in order to have enough credits to graduate with a bachelor's in English. And that kind of made me tense up a bit. It made me nervous. It made me feel like, how am I going to be able to pay back all these student loans with whatever job I'm going to have with an English degree? So after that, I thought for about a month after leaving, and over the summer, I decided I was going to drop out. And I haven't been back to school since. Wait, I lied. I actually did a certificate program for writing and editing at a different university. But yeah, besides that, I haven't taken any more college credits or college courses because I am still not sure what I'm doing with my life. I'm 27 years old and I am way too scared to commit to anything else that will get me into student debt until I'm 100% sure that I will be able to work in that field for, I mean, ideally the next 40 years, but at least like the next 5 to 10. I'm currently just kind of drowning in student loan debt. I did have federal student loans, but they are all paid off now. The rest of my student loans are private, so even if there was student loan forgiveness, like, those things aren't getting forgiven. Like, even if I die, like, my parents will probably have to pay them off. Someone's going to have to pay them off. They want their money. So I'm just stuck. 17-year-old me shouldn't have been allowed to sign that paper. I'm going to say that again because student loans are not a joke. Going so much of my life undiagnosed with ADHD and autism has just caused me so much turmoil. Turmoil. Yeah, that's the word, turmoil. It could have prevented me from making such bad financial decisions, and I actually could be so much more ahead in life if I had known at a younger age and I knew how to work with it. And if I was given like programs and stuff for people with disabilities to figure out what career they want to do. I'm 27, so I've aged out of all the free federal career stuff. So I can't do any of that. I can't get any free trainings. Everything has to be paid for. And it's just stressful and it's heartbreaking that I just didn't have enough guidance. And it's difficult not to be hard on myself for that. Like, I know it is my fault, but also I was working with what I had. I see kids now who are 17, 18, 19 years old who have such a good head on their shoulders and they're doing so much better than I was at that age. And I try not to compare myself because they probably have a better support system. They probably are neurotypical. They probably have normal social skills and stuff. So they're able to make intelligent decisions about their future. And even if they do mess up, like, it isn't detrimental to them. I just hope this video helps someone, anyone who is lost, confused, 16, 17, depressed, lonely, uh, wants to unalive themselves, just feel like they don't belong in this world, feeling like they have no escape from their family, to just think. Just think twice about what you want to do. Just think about what you think you want to do with your future. It doesn't even have to be about your career or anything. Just do not commit to a college if A, you don't have a full ride, B, your parents cannot pay for the whole thing, or C, you personally do not have money saved up for it, or D, if you're not going into a career that will help you pay off whatever loans you have to take out, because it's not smart and it's not worth it. This is unfortunately the bed that I have made, and I have to lay in it. I've been laying in it and I'm sick of laying it, but I have to keep laying in it until I find something that I can support myself with and I can have a life with, and I can pay off my debt and never ever have to think about student loans ever again, because that is my dream. That is honestly my dream. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.